In this lesson, we will look at the second technique for executing tasks using the Threads API. I have created the class secondtechnique.java by copying firsttechnique.java class that we created in the previous video. Apart from the name of the class, nothing else has been changed. You can see the new class on the left hand side. I have also kept the old one open on the right hand side so that you can compare and contrast the two techniques during the session. Now, you can see that first task is underlined in the new class because same named class already exists in this package in the firsttechnique.java file. So let us change its name to second task. I'm not using the refactoring functionality here because Eclipse gets confused and tries to rename the first task class in the firsttechnique class too, which we do not want. Now, the only difference between the previous technique and the current technique is that we are not going to start the thread immediately as soon as an instance of second task is created. So I'm going to remove the this.start statement from its constructor. So how do we start the thread now? We can do that by calling the start method on the second task objects. Second task extends the thread class and therefore inherits the start method. For the second instance of second task, we can call start on the thread variable. Let's test it. It has similar output as our previous lesson because we haven't changed anything in the task definition, that is the run method here. Looking at the output, the main thread started and then spawned the two threads. Before any of those two threads got the CPU to execute, the main thread ended. After that, both the threads started running in parallel and we see intermittent sysouts from each of the two tasks in the output. So the only difference between the second technique and the first technique is that in the second technique, we start the thread from another class rather than the constructor of the thread-cum-task definition. The second task gives more control to the calling code as to when to start the thread. With that, we have come to the end of this lesson. See you in the next one.